Good morning, happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Golf Business Podcast. This is your host, Jason Rockhold, PGA Master Professional. And today we're going to talk about the difference between marketing and content creation. So stick around, play the intro. All right, I love that intro. If you do not listen to this with a headphone or anything like that, or listen to it with any sort of speakers that have any bass, you're not getting the whole effect of it. It's so much stronger with bass, and it just really gets you pumped up. Anyway, now to the story at hand. What we want to talk about today is the difference between content and marketing, okay? So there is content marketing, which is kind of where we're going with this, but one of the biggest things that you want to do when you start to look at your marketing spend is how much are you going to spend on new content, which is pictures, videos, somebody writing something about the golf course, somebody writing golf lessons, somebody writing about the food that you have, somebody taking pictures of the golf course, somebody taking pictures of the food that you make, somebody taking aerial shots of the golf course. Pretty much anything that has to do with content that promotes your golf course or shows what you have is what we call content, okay? Now, there's traditional advertising where you make a banner ad or something that says, hey, come and play golf at our golf course. But there is a huge difference between what you spend on the content that you build and the advertising that you have, because the content that you build can be utilized on any platform that's out there. Once you build that content, as long as you have the rights to be able to use it however you want to use it, and that's another story that we'll get into beyond here, but one of the things that you need to do is build content of your golf course, pictures and videos and things that will promote the beauty of your golf course to get people to have interest to go to your golf course. Okay. Now you can put those on your social media platforms. You can put them on your website. You can put them anywhere that you have as a physical spot for you, or you can actually use that content on other platforms inside of your advertising to be able to utilize great content with the extended reach of marketing, okay? So I want to break it down by giving you an example of what I mean, okay? So let's say that you are a golf course that has not really done anything when it comes to gathering content for the facility. You have pictures from 6 or 7 years ago before the hurricane went through, or the big hailstorm knocked down trees, or you made a new building, or there's a new bathroom that's on this hole, or you rerouted some of the par threes or par fours to make it look better. Okay. There's a lot of things that can happen in a 6-year window. So what you need to do is try to keep your photos and your content up to date with the current golf course that you have. So now that you have these photos, okay, you've put in the money to have somebody come out, take great pictures, and potentially write some articles for you that are about the new things that you're doing, talking about everything that's going on the golf course, and potentially getting you into a blogging atmosphere, which is outside of what we're going to talk about today. But just so you know, just blogging and putting that on your website consistently, even a podcast like this, if you do it consistently, you can start to gain followers or gain interest and utilize that as a way to get more people to come to your golf course. So make sure that you understand that the content that you make is something that you can utilize across multiple platforms and be able to have that as an interest for somebody to come to your golf course. So the exact example that I want to do, you are a golf course and you just took some new pictures, had somebody come out, take some pictures of your golf course, and what you need to do at this point is utilize that content that you created to gain interest in golfers to come to your golf course. So you can take those pictures and you can put them on your website. So right away, the first thing that you would do is you put it on your website. That is virtually a low cost situation, almost no cost situation. If you have somebody on staff that does your website, you can give them the pictures, they can put it on the website, and boom, you now have brand new photos up on the website that are showing your golf course from an up-to-date light of what it looks like currently. Next, you can utilize them, space them out. If you have 20 pictures, you can space them out to one every 3 or 4 days on your Facebook page or on your Instagram or whatever it is, and then you can recycle that content. You can utilize some of those pictures later on. So let's say you have 20 pictures and you took those pictures and you put them up there one every 3 days. That's 60 days of content that you have made to be able to utilize on those social medias. Now, this is where content gets even better. You can take that first picture that you put up 60 days ago and be able to use that as recycled content. So it allows you to utilize that content multiple times and still be able to get that same interest or maybe even more interest because that picture was really neat and people wanted to see it again, and you were able to recycle that content to attract more people. So the great thing about content is it's something that you can utilize more and more and more. Now, when it comes to marketing, if you took out an ad in a newspaper and you said, okay, I want to advertise that I have this great golf course and I want you to come out for $25 on Tuesdays, and that's what we want. Okay, well, it makes sense to actually have some ads like that in different marketing platforms that are out there because the reach that they have is wide enough to be able to gain some sort of profitability out of that ad spend. But what you're going to do is you're going to utilize some of that content, some of those photos that you took, and put them into those ads on their platforms to be able to show them how great your facility looks to their entire reach. So let's say that you are advertising in a newspaper and that newspaper goes out to 100,000 people. Now, if you just put a blank ad with no photos that says, hey, come on out and it's $25 to play at our golf course, and this is the name of the golf course, XYZ golf course, then there's a good chance that people will read it and it'll just kind of breeze by them. But what you'll find is by utilizing great content, photos, in these ads, you're going to start to spark interest. You're going to inspire them to want to come out and play. They'll look at that photo and they'll go, wow, that looks awesome out there. I would love to spend the day there. Now, once you get to that point, now you're doing amazing things. You're starting to attract people to the golf course. You're getting them in the door. And then that's when your staff can take over with amazing operations. So the content that you create is your first step towards convincing a customer to get them to come to the golf course. And if your content is old or bad or just doesn't do any justice to your facility, you are losing money quickly. It is like having a pail with multiple holes in the bottom of it and trying to fill it up. If your content is not attracting people to the golf course, then you have got to change it. And that's a great thing for me to lead into rock solid aerial, amazing photos that we have. We have the DJI Inspire 2 that takes 4K video. We have 27 megapixel photos that we take, which means to most people, if you're not into cameras, it means that we have the highest quality cameras that you can get when you get that drone up in the air. So we can utilize those photos and we can get them to any of your advertisers and be able to get amazing photos to increase your business. So shameless plug, I know it was, but definitely I had to tell you because it's so important. Getting those photos, getting those videos, creating content to be able to drive business to your golf course is seriously the only way to do it. There are so many avenues out there that you need to be able to have content that you can put up on all those different things. One of the biggest areas, and we haven't really dove into it yet in the podcast, I have one that I've kind of started, but I'm going to put in the next couple weeks. It's about Google. It's about how to utilize Google in its best way. And one of the best ways to do it is to have amazing content that starts to attract interest. The more people that look at those photos, the higher placement they get on Google because of the interest. The algorithm that they have with Google is set up on how valid the content is to the search and does it spark any interest? So great content achieves both of those things that you're trying to achieve on Google, and it will allow your page to start to go up in the ranking naturally, not by putting out ads on Google advertising or anything like that, just by having content that people actually care about. Google will recognize that and start to rank your page higher. Not only that, but if you put those pages on your Facebook page and you put it on Twitter, or you have your own blogosphere that you have a separate website for that is connected to your main website. Just having those things out there that all connect back to your website and back to your facility are one big online social footprint. So circling back around to content and the difference between content and just regular traditional marketing. Traditional marketing is talking to somebody that has a billboard and they say, hey, for $6,000 for 1 month, we'll have your picture up on the billboard saying this golf course is a great golf course. Okay? Well, that's $6,000 that you spent for 1 month, and you have to justify ROI on that for $6,000 for that 1 month's time frame. Now, with content, as you build content, you can recycle that content over and over and over until it gets old, which, like I said, if it's too old, if it's something where it doesn't represent your golf course anymore, you need to get rid of it and start anew, because not only that fresh look will help your Google search, the interest of people that are actually looking at that content, but it also keeps your web page and it keeps your facility in the freshest possible way. So there are no surprises when somebody comes to your facility, and you can show off some of the newest and coolest things that you have at your facility. All right, so that's where we're going to end it for the day. Just like we always do, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at jrockhold@pga.com, or hit me up on Twitter at jrockgolf, or you can check out some of our Instagram stuff at rockholdgolf. And I think that's about it. So have a great week.